Shalom, shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom of America, aka Babylon, aka Egypt. We're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, the Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the GMS, who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. We are here for the elect and elect only of the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, the so-called Negroes. Benjamin, the so-called West Indian Jamaicans. Levi, the so-called Haitians. Reuben are the Seminole Indians. Gad are the North American Indians. Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. Zebulon is Guatemala to Panama. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. Simeon are the so-called Dominicans. Ephraim are the so-called Puerto Ricans. Asher is Colombia to Uruguay. And Naphtali is Argentina to Chile. These are the 12 tribes of Israel, who our big brother Yahawashi is coming to redeem 1/3 the elect, 2/3 are set up for the destruction, man. You know, and how do we know that the Israelite, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites, man? When you go into the scriptures, when you read into the Deuteronomy 28, right? These curses that were given, the blessings of obedience. And if we didn't abide by the law, statutes, commandments, it would be certain curses put on us, man. That's how we know that we are the nation of Israel, man. You know, the Lord said in Exodus 4 that Israel my firstborn, right? So I'm gonna go into Deuteronomy 28:15, and it says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee, they overtake thee." And we had just left Egypt. We were in the wilderness, man. Moses went up to the mountain and got the laws and the statutes and commandments he brought back down to the nation, right? And these curses will befall you if you didn't obey, man. It says, and you wouldn't be able to escape these curses either until the Lord take the curses off. And we are in those curses now, and that time of the end is near. So our punishment is basically accomplished when you read in Lamentations 4 and 21. Matter of fact, let me get that. Lamentations 4 and 22. 4 and 21. It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee." It says, "Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom," man. When you go into Edom, Edom is Adawam in the Hebrew, meaning red, right? When you read in Genesis, the 36th chapter, it tells you that Esau is the father of the Edomites. So it is a nation of people on the planet who are named Edomites. In the description, when you read in Genesis, the 25th chapter, they're red, man. They have the red undertone under their skin because they lack the pigment, man. The dark pigment. Less copper, man. A lot of people call it melanin, but they have less copper in their bodies, you know? And it says, "Rejoice and be glad, man, O daughter of Edom," man. And that's what the Edomites today, you're rejoicing because what? You have the nation of Israel in subjection, man. It's history, it's a proven fact in history that the nation of Israel, right? The northern tribe they left Assyria trying to flee the persecution, and they said we would practice our own laws, right? And then you had how many years later? Maybe 2,700 years later? Is it 2,700? 2,300 years later, circa, that the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, were led into what you call the transatlantic slave trade, right? Which is part of the curses, man. This part of the curses. That's one reason how we know that the scriptures, is talking about, the Deuteronomy 28 is talking about the Negroes, the Latinos, and the Native Americans, right? But it says, "The cup also shall pass unto thee." That cup meaning what? The slavery, the anguish, the torment, that you have put on the nation of Israel, the Negro, Latinos, and the Native Americans, it's about to pass unto you, man. You're about to inherit these curses, man. Pursuing Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Let me grab that. Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy 30 and 7. And the Lord, Yahweh thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, with which persecuted thee. Right? And who persecuted us, man? Esau, man. You know, the Lord used him to be a whooping stick upon Israel. And he persecuted us. When you read in Zechariah, the 1st chapter, say he forwarded the affliction, man. So these curses, you are our enemy, man. Esau and Jacob, man. They've been enemies since since Isaac gave the blessing to Jacob, man. Esau, you gave up your birthright. You know? You gave up your birthright, man. You gave up the birthright. And the blessing went to Jacob, man. You've been our enemy ever since, man. You forward affliction, and the Lord said these curses are going to pass through to our enemies. This is a future prophecy because the Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Americans are under Esau right now, man. You know? So it says, thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked, man. So the Lord, all these scandals that are going on in society, man, there are multiple scandals, man. Every day it's a different scandal Esau's doing, man. If he ain't human trafficking females, he human trafficking little kids. If he ain't sleeping with little young girls, he's sleeping with little young boys. Sending young judges and sending young boys to jail, being paid to pack the jailhouse full of young boys, man. And you know Esau is wicked, man. Because when you send little young boys like that to these jailhouses, man, all it is just so the older men could anally have sex with them, man. Because you know the little young boys can't fight the grown man off, man. That's why we call you the devil, man. You know? That's why we call you the devil. The unrighteous decrees that you pass, man. But the Lord said these curses are going to pass on to you. You know, our enemies, man. You are our enemy. Verse 22, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, meaning it's complete. O daughter of Zion, it specifically tells you, it says the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, man. You know, it tells you, O daughter of Zion. Prepositional phrase, man. It's telling you who it's talking about, man. The object of the preposition being Zion, man. To Zion in the Hebrew, man. You know? It says our punishment is accomplished, man. So, man, any day now, we look for Yahawashi to crack these clouds. All hell to break loose, and he cracked these clouds, man. And bring death and destruction on this place, man. On Babylon, a.k.a. Egypt, man. A.k.a. this is Sodom and Gomorrah, man. America is the worstest country in the world, man. They the worst, man. Ain't no morals here, man. Everybody's out for themselves, man. Ain't no togetherness in America, man. You know? The only people that's halfway together are the men of the Lord, man. You know? And all them ain't even together, man. We gotta get it right, man, before Yahawashi come back. Because when he come back, man, hey, don't be found idle, man. You know? And it says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. So it won't be no more captivity, man, for the nation of Israel. Our enemy, being the main enemy, Esau, he won't be able to carry us into captivity because why? He's going to be into captivity. And we're going to put him in subjection. And we're going to work him 1,000 years, man. And after 1,000 years, man, you will be destroyed, man. The man with no pigment, you're gonna walk into a lake of fire, man. We're gonna build a literal pit for you. You know? And it says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity, and thou shalt not be able to dwell in the land. So, man, any day now, we look for Yahawashi to crack these clouds. All hell to break loose, and he cracked these clouds, man. And after 1,000 years, man, you will be destroyed, man. It says, O daughter of Edom, he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. So he's going to visit your iniquities, man. All the iniquities that you have done, man. Through eons and eons, man. The Lord haven't forgotten. So he's going to see you for your iniquities, man. He's going to punish you for the things that you've done. Our fathers have sinned and we bore their iniquities, man. When you read in Lamentations 5-7. We're going through it right now. So what makes you think you're not going to go through it? There's no way you can get out of this destruction. The Lord is coming to see you, man. You know? He will discover thy sins, man. So at the end of our hell, right? So we at the end, man. Of this, basically, we at the end of our hell. We're at the end of this devil ruling over us, man. The Lord is opening up the door to prison houses, man. You know? They are waking up to the fact that they are Israelites, man. They waking up, man. They waking up. Back in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28. I'll read 15 again. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken, meaning if you don't listen. Hearken means to listen, man. Right? Unto the voice of the Lord thy power. What's his voice, man? The words, man, of the Bible. You know? You people want the Lord to come down and talk to you from the heavens. It's already been proven you don't want that, man. Back in Mount Horeb, you don't want that. And when you see the Lord Yahawashi again, it's gonna be, hey, he said I'm not gonna meet you as a man. It's gonna be a lot of terrible violence going on when you see the Lord again, man. So now is the time. The Lord has the watchman on the highways and byways, preaching, pushing the word, stretching his hand out. This is the Lord stretching his hand out when we out here going through the scriptures, telling you that you're Israelites, and we're telling the judgment of you other nations, man, and you Edomites. Right? It says, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, man. So these curses gonna overtake you. Meaning you won't be able to escape from them until the Lord see fit to take the curses off. That's how it works. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. And when you read in Matthew, the 13th chapter, the field is the world. So anywhere the Israelites are in the world, these curses gonna take effect on them, man. Anywhere they're in the world, man. When you go in these cities, it's easy to tell what part of the city Negroes, the Latinos, and the Native Americans live in. You know, you could tell, man, because you're gonna see cars with oil stains running out of them. Ain't gonna be no grass in the yard. Windows probably broken out. Abandoned buildings. Cigarette butts everywhere. Trash in the streets. You know, sorry to say, but that's just how it is, man. You're gonna see all this, man. But then when you leave out of them hoods and you go to other Edomite side of town, everything clean. You got flowers growing up. You know, the houses look decent. The roof ain't falling in. You got $50,000, $60,000 cars parked in the driveway. You know. Now, is it to say you do have our people that in them neighborhoods too? You know, they're in them neighborhoods also, man. They trying to get away, man. They trying to walk hand in hand with Esau. But you're not gonna go unpunished either. But the majority as a nation, man, you always got one or two of our people, they're gonna do good. But what is it as a nation? We're a nation of people. You know, one chick on this planet don't speak for our nation, bro. It's about a nation, how your nation is doing as a nation of people. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. One or two or three or 10 always slip through the crack. And they'll do good, and guess what? They'll look down on the rest, man. And it says, Cursed shall thou be thy basket and thy store, man. Hey, anytime Jake owned any kind of business, he try to get any kind of business, what's going to happen? It's not going to be supported by the other Israelites. And the curse is going to fall upon you. It's going to wind up. Your business is going to shut down, man. That's how it is, man. If you see a black business that's been going on for 30, 40 years, they're basically funded and helped by Esau, man.